Juicy question. I have a background in sexual health, so I did a fellowship after my residency training in female sexual dysfunction, relationship counseling, hormones, and all of that juicy stuff. So I love these sexual health questions, and I'll try not to get carried away. It says, is it possible to regain your sex drive in menopause? Mine is zero. So can anybody relate? The answer to that question is absolutely. And things are meant to evolve and feel differently. And so when I see someone regarding sexual health, we go through what's called the sex cycle. So libido is in your boots. I get that. But what happens when you actually make a plan and you put it on the calendar and you schedule it? What happens then? So when you do that, are you able to respond? So does your body get aroused? Is there any lubrication? Can you get lubrication from the drugstore that'll help make things more slippery? And are you able to reach orgasm? So orgasm is simply a peak in arousal, and that's a whole other topic. If orgasm is an issue, that's a whole other topic. But after the orgasm, can you maybe reach another orgasm, or is there a way for you to really enjoy that milieu of hormones and neurotransmitters that has just been released from that sexual activity? And as you think your way through that sex cycle, what I find most common in the 25 years I've been working with women with sexual health problems is that a lot of times it's I don't feel like it. I don't have time. I'm not thinking about it. There's no time on the calendar. I've got other things. I've got more important things to do. I just don't feel like it. I want to, but I just don't feel like it. So if that's you, I want to explain a couple of things. The sex cycle by Rosemary Basson, there was some really good literature showing that women can enter the sex cycle from different places. So we used to, say in our teens or 20s or early days, early marriage days, honeymoon phase, we used to get that, oh, I want it so bad, and you just can't wait to get home. But as we get older and life is life and things happen and relationships deepen and we have things to do and bigger contributions to make in the world, there's a place to enter that sex cycle from a responsiveness, from a place of, I really love my partner. I really want to be with my partner. I really love how it feels to be close and to be connected. And I can be responsive. I can be receptive. And once you are able to really let your hair down and feel good about it, your body responds and you're able to get aroused and you're able to reach orgasm and you're able to experience and enjoy the experience of being intimate with your partner. And what I ask people is if you're able to do that, can you live on the love of that for a little bit and remind yourself that it's good so that next time he or she asks, you can think to yourself, it was good last time. Maybe I can set aside a little time for this again. And that's entering the sex cycle from a different place, from less biological drive and more psychological desire for connection, for intimacy, and for what ultimately can feel really good if you let yourself feel really good. Now, there's no quick fix. I tell people all the time, if there was, I'd be on the corner selling it instead of, spending all this time talking. Why not just take something that's going to work really well, really fast? Well, there's no magic pill for this either. There are a few medications and a few things that may be helpful, and it depends what the issue is. So if the issue is vaginal, there's dryness, there's pain, there's tightness, there's concern there. There may be lubricants that can help. The vaginal estrogen may help. A vaginal suppository called DHEA may help. Intrarosa. Ospemifene, which is oral, also helps the vagina. Those are targeted to the vagina, vulvar-vaginal area, and genital urinary syndrome of menopause. And then if it's more central, because our brain happens to be our biggest sex organ, there are a couple of medications that are approved in Canada or the US or both. Flibanserin or AD is one that I have prescribed. It doesn't really make a huge difference for the patients I've experienced it with. Maybe one or two extra acts in a month. The placebo was very similar to the study group, but it is approved and it does have some results in some people. The other is bremelanotide, which is an injection. I don't actually have experience prescribing that because when you read the literature, it's again only marginally a little bit helpful, but it may be worth a try talking to your family doctor if that's the one you want to try. Again, these are more centrally acting and they help the brain kind of relax, get in the mood. But they have to be taken quite consistently. And then testosterone. Everybody wants testosterone these days. And I'd love to elaborate on my experience, my clinical experience, which is vast with testosterone. But let me just say that it has side effects, it has adverse effects, it has to be taken very consistently. Serum levels have to be monitored as well as liver functions and cholesterol or lipid levels because all of that can change with testosterone. And testosterone may help you or someone who has libido issues feel a little more oomph, but it's not going to fix all the other responsive and more emotionally connected facets related to the fact that your brain is your number one sex organ. So, a bigger conversation about testosterone, but it may help in some women, in some people who have really low or hypoactive sexual desire disorder, who have tried all the other things, who are deeply emotionally and intellectually and physically connected with their partner. And there's just one little hurdle, and they're willing to put in the time and have the lab testing and the consistent monitoring of those testosterone levels. It may help. And it does in some limited patient situations. It's not for everybody. I know there are people out there who believe that everyone should be on testosterone to build muscle and to make your mood better. But I'm telling you, my clinical experience after 25 years in the office with lots of experience around this, it is not really the be all and end all. And if you don't feel like going through the onerous task of starting and monitoring testosterone, it's really not going to be the big thing, the magic pill that makes all the difference, but it might be worth a try. So that's a huge overview of sexual health, and I hope there was a little snippet in there for you. But the bottom line to this question is, can you regain your sex drive? Absolutely. And the number one way to do that, I'm going to say, is making love to yourself using all five senses. So taste, touch, sight, smell, sound, all of the things that make you feel like a sexy goddess woman that you are. Those things are going to be most important to bring back your sex drive and make you feel like the empowered sexual being that you are.